Good evening, Raskin enjoyers. Hope you're doing all right. Well, unfortunately, we have to start off with a bit of a problem. Now, last night, when we figured out the prices for the Halloween skins, I did sit there and say, keep an eye on the Rust Twitter, and lo and behold, due to unforeseen circumstances, the Halloween patch will be pushed on Monday, the 28th of October instead. Something went wrong. They couldn't release the actual Halloween update today. It is what it is. But the Rust Store has, in fact, appeared. I've just tweeted it there, and we can quickly go and take a look at the actual Rust Store itself. And as you can see, 12 skins, no items. I am under the assumption that we'll probably see the items appear on Monday with the actual Halloween update. And here's the funny thing. Next week, the next Rust Store, it's October 31st. But apparently, we're not getting actual Halloween skins for the October 31st Rust Store. But I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest, especially now that the items have been delayed, that I bet the items will persist with that Rust Store as well. So I believe we'll see the Halloween items this Monday, and I believe we'll be seeing the likes of the items appearing with the next week's Rust Store as well. Kind of like what just happened with the charitable Rust Store skins. They stuck around for 2 weeks. Well, they're gone now, as you can see. We only have Halloween skins. It's a lovely batch, and I know some of you are probably questioning some of them. Oh, shut up. Here we go. This is micro522.com. We're looking at the accepted skins. If you're wondering, did these skins actually have a lot of support? Yes, they did. You know that Halloween Witch Garage door that we're questioning quite a fair bit? It had over 1,200 upvotes and 400 downvotes. It had an upvote to downvote ratio of 3.13. That is absolutely ridiculous. It had a score of 74. I have never seen a skin like that before, like do that well. So yeah, people did want that. As much as you can sit here and say, oh, this doesn't fit Rust, I don't need this, I don't want this. You do not have the willpower to stop yourself from buying that. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. You can sit there and put on a brave face, but you're buying that. You're going to use it. You're going to surround yourself with them all around you. You can't stop yourself. You've already bought it. What have you done? Well, it's too late. There you go. So yeah, that did get accepted. It was the most supported skin. We also had the likes of the Not So Cute Sheep in the door, the wooden double door from hell. Very pleased to see the likes of that. Overall, I'm quite happy with the skins. And we've even got a very interesting looking jacket. So yeah, we'll go ahead and showcase off all the skins in a bit, but there's one little thing that I want to reveal to all of you. Let's turn the volume on. I had to turn this off because it would have been in the background persistent. Right, anyway, so what's all this? What's going on? Hang on a minute. This looks quite spooky. This looks quite appealing. Next week, I will be having my own special little Halloween event. I've been helped out with people in my community, most notably the likes of Mr. Cheese Taco and various others, especially the likes of the people who run the Art of Rust server. We've gone ahead and made a very spooky little area for everybody to come and enjoy. You have a nice little seating area. Look, we've even got a pool. It's nice and green. Yay! And then we have the likes of a very special racetrack. Sorry if I'm lagging a bit. I haven't fully warmed up. There we go. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. My PC's like, oh, how much of this is there? There's a lot. There's so much to take a look at. So we got ourselves a lovely little racetrack all the way around the perimeter as well. You're more than welcome to come take part. We have an automated, ready, set, go system as well. It's all nice and spooky. Let's go ahead and quickly take a look inside. What we're going to have on the inside is the likes of a special little gallery full of plenty of very spooky arts. We're just missing the art at the moment, but once you're in here on the day, next week, next Thursday, October 31st, we will have this all up and running. A lot of people having a little look around, taking part in the events. What events? Well, do you see these pits here? We have ourselves a bit of a goal in mind. What is this whole event for? Well, basically, are you aware of Mr. Shadowhopper on Twitter? You probably instantly know what I'm talking about. So if I could just tab out real quickly. As you can see, Mr. Shadowhopper, for every single day of this year, has begged Facepunch, please add bone walls to Rust. Please add bone walls. Please add bone walls. Day 284, day 283, day 282. He's been doing this every single day of the year. I'm going to mute that because that fog is annoying. So basically, I thought, well, how about we go and help him out? How about we have ourselves a little protest? So what's going to happen is we are going to take turns jumping in this fight pit, which you could see right over here. Killer, get out of the way. We're going to take turns jumping in here, and we're going to fight each other to the death. And the loser gets their head cut off. Yes, we have a whole bunch of skinning knives over in here. And what we're going to do is we're going to build our own bone wall. We're going to collect every person's head that's turned up, and we're going to put them on this wall. We're going to have our own special bone wall, and we definitely will be protesting under the gigantic head that is Skellalister. So, we'll have megaphones, we'll be yapping, we'll be yelling, we'll be demanding bone walls one way or another. That is the plan, and it's all kicking off next week. Everyone's welcome to come join. Please be on your best behaviour. Don't be naughty. Don't try and be annoying and whatnot. You get the idea. Fogger, shut up. So, yeah, that's the plan. That's all kicking off next week. The more the merrier. I'll have a link to the server in the description that you can see right now. And when you make it into the server, all you have to do is just /hedge and you'll teleport to this area. It's that easy. So it's as simple as that. So I feel like I've shown off everything that I needed to say. And with that, shall we now skip ahead and showcase all the brand new Halloween skins? Okay, we're back. It's been about 2 hours since the Rustor rotated, and I can confirm to you, this week's Rustor, it came out at a perfect time. It's not like last week. And the funny thing is, the last week's skins, they are still not yet marketable. They're going to be marketable in about an hour and a half's time from now, so that will be a separate video. Unfortunately, last night we couldn't do any abnormal barders, because technically they have been delayed, so it moves over to the next day. So every single skin from last week will become marketable in about an hour and a half's time. And during that time, I could go and record all of this. Right then, so out of all of these skins, which one are abnormal? So 12 skins today, a lovely variety, clothing and armour, deplorables and some weapons. So that's abnormal, that's abnormal, that's abnormal, that's not abnormal, that's abnormal, that's not abnormal, that's abnormal, that's abnormal, that's abnormal, that's not abnormal, that's abnormal, that's abnormal, and there we are. That was all of the Halloween skin submissions. As you can see, a lot of the top performing ones did end up getting accepted. Quite unfortunately, some of them did not get accepted. It is what it is. So yes, this week we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 skins that are abnormal. We have a lot to chase after next week. And funnily enough, if we do end up with some new items coming out this Monday, that means we also had to chase them next Sunday night, going into Monday morning. So, okay, cool. Something to be aware of. Right, so let's go ahead and look at the current sales. It's been about 2 hours. That Witch Garage Door has already got 3,000 subscribers. And just to be a little bit more precise, I'm going over to here, 3,465 subscribers. Cool, cool. So, as I said, as much as you can sit there and say you don't want it, I know you're buying it. You can't stop yourself from buying it. You can't stop yourself from owning it. You can't stop yourself from putting it on all of your garage doors. You literally have a base that only consists of garage doors with this cat girl all around you. You've been bewitched. So, looking at all of these skins, as I said, it's a perfectly fine looking Rustor. Everything is like perfectly in theme with the likes of Halloween, and that's what matters most, you know. There was probably some very cool looking skins that you personally liked, but at the end of the day, Face Puncher have looked themselves and said, look, out of all the sheepmen of double doors, they preferred that library. Out of all the armoured doors, they preferred the likes of the Crypt armoured door, which is a collection continuation to the double armoured door that was accepted 4 years ago. Yep, so that's a lovely little collection continuation right there. Very nice to see that from the likes of Mr. Jessin. And of course, you might notice we've had the likes of some continuations with the likes of Pumpkin Exhibition from last year, AK last year, SAR this year, Gore AK this year, SAR last year. So, all right, cool. And overall, there's been a lot of skin, first ever skin acceptances for the likes of many skin creators. Donut Raccoon with their garage door here. Rurik as a solo, he's helped out with other people before, but as a solo, that's his first ever skin accepted. And quite a lot of people got like their like third or fourth skin accepted. So House, there you go, get a good look at that. And then Delaroy has been pretty consistent over the past like year. Well, actually, last year he was right. This year's only got one now. Oh wow. You have helped out someone else, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, Mr. 38. It's nice to see newer skin creators getting their chance, and of course, producing some ever so lovely looking skins. So let's now jump in now and properly talk about all of these skins, showcase all of them, and question how well will they perform over the course of the next year or so. Now, please remember this. Halloween skins as investments. There's a big problem. If they are very Halloween gimmicked, I'm a little bit concerned. I'm just going to use this Sheepman of Double Door as an example. For what it is, perfectly fine, spot-on design, perfectly befitting of the likes of Halloween. It's like a very old, dingy-looking bookshelf with the pumpkins. It's got the skull with the candle on it and whatnot. That's an awesome-looking design. Congratulations, Mr. 38, getting your acceptance. But I'm concerned with, are people going to still want to use this when it's like February or June? Do you get the idea? If it's out of season, people most likely won't want to use it. Like, are people going to still want to use this when it's December in 2 months' time? No, they're going to probably want to prefer to use a Christmas one, aren't they? So that's a little bit concerning for me. So I just want to bring that up. And that, of course, does affect all Halloween skins that are very gimmicked towards the likes of Halloween. In theory, it's more specifically any holiday that comes out, the skins that are very, very gimmicked towards them are the ones that tend to suffer the most. And if I could just quickly show you last year's Halloween skins from those 2 weeks. There we are. Sorry, I'm talking too much and I slur. Sorry. Yeah, look at all of that. Grim Farm down 30%. The Spider Cocoon down 45%. Basically, you can see by default you would expect most of these Halloween skins to go down in price, and they don't actually really recover that much. I'm very sorry to say. Now, some of them do work out quite nicely, simply because they're a very looking design, or the item that they are a skin of just doesn't get that many acceptances. Yeah, you get the idea, but by default, not looking good. Okay then, so now that we got that out of the way, and hopefully you understand, let's go through all of these skins based on sales so far, and of course we'll discuss, how it'll turn out. So, which garage door? I can confirm to you once again that this was in fact the most supported skin out of every single Halloween skin. That had a score of 74, and the one that was in second place had 66. That was the Not So Cute shipment. So, props to you, Mr. Milho Frito. So, Donut Raccoon, props to you. Your first ever skin accepted. Let's now go in game and start celebrating. Yes, the Weebs have won. Right, so stop dancing. Let's go ahead and look around and observe this specimen. Get a good look at that. Not only do we have a wonderful looking picture right here, we've also got the decoration on the rolled up part right there as well. Let's get up nice and close. I've just seen my eyeballs, sorry about that. So yes, that's a spectacular looking specimen. Oh yes indeed. Now if I could just quickly switch this to nighttime, you will see that her eyes turn black and it's also scary. Now this isn't the first time I've looked this up nice and close. Let me just quickly get my Rust Plus on. I've obviously forgot to do that because I'm an idiot. But yeah, I've been talking about this skin for quite some time, and I've basically been asking people, is this the type of design you're happy to see? Let me just quickly go show off this short. Yeah, this was from like a week and a half ago. I was showcasing it, I was asking for people's opinions, and the general consensus was people were perfectly happy with the likes of it. So let me just switch off that, and there you go. Pitch black darkness. Oh, her eyes have turned into the void. So, alright, cool, that's nice to see, and I don't blame a lot of people, liking it. I know a lot of people like anime and whatnot. But didn't we have something very similar last year? Yes, we did. We had a very similar design last year. That was it's the spell check garage door, if I can recall. So you know how we just looked at all the skins just a second ago from last year? Let's go look again, and let's just quickly go point out that the garage door last year was very similar. I'm talking about the one that sold for $4. It's this right here. Now that is still doing a good job of retaining its value. Do you remember this? You probably have seen it at some point over the course of the past year. That is an awesome looking skin that was produced by the likes of Hewok and Irapella. So that got accepted. It sold a lot. It did how much? 25,000 subscribers. But I want to show you its sales history. So, of course, right now it's evens. Perfectly fine considering it's Halloween. But again, most Halloween skins don't actually work out very nicely when it's Halloween again. But back over to here. You can see it did drop down in price. It dropped down pretty hard during the Easter dip. At one point, it was selling for less than $3. Sold for $4. At one point, sold for just under $3. So now that you're aware of that, you can't look at the likes of the brand new garage door over here and assume it's just going to be perfectly fine. It will be out of season soon. And unfortunately, a lot of people just won't care for it anymore, or won't care as much for it as they do now. So do take that into consideration. When we look at the likes of these skins and obviously approach them with the abnormal barders and whatnot, be prepared. They very likely will be losing value as time goes on. You should care more about the long term. Because if you don't keep track of all the barders that you do, you're going to get dumped on. Now, of course, the likes of the gadget door from last year did recover, but it took a while. And wouldn't you rather want to pick these skins up at their lowest price and still walk away with some decent profit? So, yeah. Do you reckon that'll do better in terms of how the other garage door performed? And also, how much do you reckon this is going to sell by next week? I can't give you a very good estimate right now. I normally like to wait until the first 24 hours of sales or 48 hours of sales. But looking at what I see here, 2 hours in, 3,000 sales already. It probably will be doing 30,000 subscribers. That's a very rough estimate. But I know a lot of people have been seeing this. I know a lot of people will be buying this for themselves. And I cannot help but assume that a lot of people very likely will be buying these in excess, hoping to, make a nice quick flip profit. And if I could just quickly flick back over to this garage door from last year, initially, it did go up in price quite nicely. During the likes of post-Christmas, yes, it goes down a fair bit here, goes back up all the way up to about $5 at one point around January time. But then after that, Easter dip goes down and it gets real bad. Goes us down by about half its price. Oh dear. But during the summer, it went back up to $5 again around May time. Okay? So there's a lot of ups and downs. But so as long as people like it, so as long as the people appreciate the anime art style, yeah, it's going to probably work out nicely during the good times. But when bad times happen, when dips happen, do not be surprised that even the likes of the brand new cool looking garage door that suddenly everybody cares about will even go down in price as well. So yeah, just wanted to point that out. Just wanted to make that nice and clear. So okay, by all means, if you like it, if you want it for yourself, go and buy and use it. Support that skin creator. It's their first ever skin to be accepted. But if you're looking at this and thinking, I want to buy 100 of them as an investment, you probably want to wait until at least Wednesday. Next week, we'll look at these skins, we'll see how much they've sold, and we'll question how much we want to offer for all of them. And then we'll obviously do the abnormal barders, look at the support afterwards, and question how we approach it after that. Yes, by all means, you're more than welcome to jump in and buy some if you want to right now. But I think the smarter option is to wait it out. Use time to your advantage, and then you'll get a much clearer picture, obviously, by Wednesday. So, okay, we'll see how that plays out. But again, props to you, Donut Raccoon. Right, let's now avert our eyes and now look over to the likes of the Mummy Wrap Jacket, because there's quite a lot to talk about, but I feel like I need to showcase something to you first before we proceed to talk about this in depth. Alright, so here we are. I just thought, you know what, maybe I could just go out in the sun, go to the desert, enjoy myself. But also, I kind of want to show off an interesting detail in regards to the Mummy Jacket. As you can see, I'm wearing the likes of the San Rhino face mask, I'm wearing the Desert Raiders hoodie and pants, and wouldn't you believe it, the Mummy Jacket that you can see right there just so happens to be the perfect camouflage for the likes of the desert area. Now, initially, a lot of people did say, could you try out the likes of whiteout, comics and whatnot? No, it's brown. It's light brown. It's the perfect type of coloration to help you blend in the likes of the desert area. And, well, I thought that might be a very appealing thing for people to be aware of. So what do you think? Feel free to comment below, and maybe that might potentially encourage you to consider buying it, because it's a perfectly fine looking skin that blends in ever so perfectly with this set. And I can't help but assume that it does do a very good job of helping you blend in with the likes of the desert rocks and whatnot. So we're going to go hop back to the stage and start yapping about this a little bit more. So the Mummy Wrap Jacket. There's definitely some things to be concerned about. First of all, it's selling at 99 cents. This is the cheapest price for any Rust skin, and that only makes it a whole lot more accessible to be bought a lot. Please be aware of that. Now that I've shown this off to you and pointed out that it looks to be very nice desert camouflage, there's probably a lot of people that are going to want to buy this. Now, with it being so cheap, as I said, a lot of people are going to be able to do that. Now, by default, I think a lot of people are going to buy it for themselves, but I'm still under the assumption that a lot of people will buy this in excess with a pure intent to sell, aka people who are going to try and flip this real quickly, end up buying too much, and then, of course, start undercutting against each other because there'll be several people trying to make a quick flip, only leading to the likes of this jacket very likely losing its value. I'm very sorry to point that out, but I am concerned. It's definitely happened a lot in the past. Also, take this into consideration. How many jacket skins have we accepted so far this year? And how many people bought a lot of those jacket skins hoping to make a lovely big fat profit, only to suffer because every single jacket skin that's come out so far this year has gone down in price? Oh dear, oh dear. Now, some of them not so bad, but some of them, ooh. All right, so yeah, just pointing that out. So let's just take a nice quick look at this in-game. It's a perfectly fine looking design, but I've got to sit here and say this. It doesn't scream Halloween to me. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, by default, if I sat there and said, hey, it's mummy wraps, you can easily see that. But it's not like Happy Halloween, and it's not like it's got some pumpkins in it and whatnot. It just kind of looks like a raggedy sort of jacket. And by default, I don't think this is going to perform as badly as certain other Halloween skins of the past. It could work out ever so nicely, but it's not abnormal. We do not have the time to our advantage. On Wednesday night, we're simply going to have to look and see how many sales have happened by then and question if we just want to jump in and buy it or just rather stick with doing a buy order. At 99 cents, I think this is going to be selling quite a lot. It's got 2,500 subscribers already. I won't have a good estimate in regards to what the total sales would be by next Thursday until I've seen like the first 24 hours of sales. But I'll sit here and say this. If it sells more than 20,000 subscribers, I will be concerned. So we'll see how that turns out. As time goes on, so as long as we don't see any other jacket that compares well to this, I can't help to assume it'll be appreciated. Yes, in the desert. I do have to question that as well. How often are you using a jacket in the desert? Because it's not exactly like a good thing. I'm so hot. Oh. Back over to here. So, mummy wrap jacket. I want to be cautious, but I will sit here and say this. If you're going to buy one for yourself, by all means, buy it for yourself. Treat yourself. That is the skin creator's first ever skin to be accepted as a solo artist, so go show your support. And yeah, it is what it is. So I feel like I'll leave it up to you now with the decision. But yeah, if you're thinking about buying 100 of them, at least wait until Wednesday. See how many sales have happened, then make the decision. Because if far too many people buy this in excess, they will be competing with each other to sell this. And because of that, you're very likely going to see the price of this suffer because of that. Okay? So, cool. We've said more than enough. Shall we now proceed to talk about the likes of the Crypt Armored Door? Crypt Armored Door, produced by Mr. Jessin. Now, 4 years ago, we of course saw the likes of the double armored door being accepted, and of course, over time, this has only been appreciating value more and more and more. Now, I don't really think the Def Crypt door's like part of the same collection. It's probably still made by Jessin, but honestly, you can clearly see that's a sequel to that. So, anyway, with the arrival of the single armored door today, we have seen the likes of the double armored door being brought out on the front page. Lots of people appreciating that. Very cool, very cool. Now, obviously, the double armored door has been doing very nicely throughout all of its existence, but armoured single doors recently have not been performing very nicely, have they? And we're well aware of that. As you can see, Tier 3 armoured door down 31%, Nuclear armoured door down 50%, Shadowborn armoured door, you're doing good, you do look very cool, so alright, we'll let that slide. Soul Light's down by 70%, even Neon Vibes is down by 16%, and Red Armoured Door down 31%. Look at last year's Armoured Doors as well. Look at the previous year's Armoured Doors as well. Do you see any of them in the positive? No. So whilst we do have one that's doing quite alright, all the others, yeah, okay. So I feel like I've made my point. Now, we also just had the likes of the Charitable Rust Armoured Door. I'm pretty sure a lot of people did buy that. Do you think they're going to be wanting to buy another one? That is a bit of an issue potentially. Well, more for the skin creator. But this doesn't sell too much. It could probably work out ever so nicely. Now, if I were to just quickly look at the double armoured door, I know it came out 4 years ago, but it still did 17,000 subscribers. If this potentially sells less than that, maybe it might work out quite all right, but Halloween Rust doors do tend to get quite a lot of sales, quite a lot of subscribers. This is abnormal though, all right? So let's just quickly look at this in game. Here we are, the Crypt Armoured Door. Now, apparently someone kept pestering Jessin, the skin creator, to make a single armoured door. He was practically begging him. Jessin obliged, and now here we are. It's been accepted. How nice. How cool. Now, let's just quickly switch off the lights. Now, of course, we still have the stage lights on, but look at the details here. Look at the hands. They're scratching on the window. Oh, no. What's going on over inside there? Ghastly things, I'm sure. Not too much of a reflection, so let's now go over and turn off all the lights. Pitch black. Look at that. Stands out ever so nicely at night time. So, to all those people who own the double armoured doors, do you reckon this is a nice little sequel? I mean, it's just basically half of what you already have, but anyway. A perfectly fine looking sequel. Potentially we'll see more of it next year. Props to you, Mr. Jessin, and props to the guy that kept asking for it. Anyway, tapping out of here, I will want to wait. $2.49. Having seen how all the other armoured doors have behaved recently in the past, I'm concerned, I'm a fair bit worried, and I'd rather wait and do the abnormal barders first, then make considerations afterwards. That's the smart way of approaching it. But if you just want to buy one for yourself, just go treat yourself. I'll keep saying that. Support the skin creators. You get the idea. But to be smart about it, with the financial perspective, use time to your advantage. Abnormal barders first. Look at support afterwards. All good. So next Wednesday, I will be streaming. Look in the description of this video right now. You'll see the links to all the socials I have, more specifically my Twitch. Wednesday night, I will be streaming as of 9 PM London time, and we'll go through all the skins, figure out prices, and we'll do the barders, and you'll basically get a good understanding of how to approach all of these things. Cool. Right then, so that said, let's now move on to the Dark Magic Library sheet metal double door. So, Dark Magic Library, a very interesting sheet metal double door, perfectly befitting with the likes of Halloween, with the spooky bookcase, haunted books. Now, you might notice it mentions it has transparency. That's only transparency on like the door handles. I was looking for it myself. I read the details. It's specifically just the handles, so you can't see through it. But yes, it does happen to glow in the dark, and we will be showing that off in a bit. But with this, I'm a little bit concerned. Now, first of all, sheet metal double doors. Oh yeah, we were really desperate for another one of those, weren't we? But hey, they're very reliable. We've just gone through the likes of October, and as you can see, the worst performing one out of all of these is only down by 2%. Yeah, that's not that bad. Okay, that's cool. That's fine. But we've had 16 of these so far, and like last year we only had like 6, and the year before that we had 7. So I'm a little bit concerned with the amount that we're having accepted, but it's still proven to be perfectly fine. So I've got my hands up in the air. All right, fine. It is what it is. So Dark Magic Library at $3. I'm a little bit concerned about it. It is obviously very Halloween themed with the pumpkins and whatnot. And you know what? Let's just go ahead and take a look at this in game. So you got the spooky cobwebs, the candles, the pumpkin, the books. They're haunted books, don't worry. The skull there and whatnot. This is a very cool looking image, Mr. 38. You've done a splendid piece of work here. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if this potentially is the sheet metal double door that ends up performing the worst. And yet still, it probably will still work out reasonably okay with a good barter and whatnot if you're trying to make some profit, because it's going to be out of season. I've said this earlier, but are people still going to be appreciating this? How many sales is it going to have? I don't fully know. I'm questioning all of this. But first of all, nighttime. Looks very nice. Does it reflect nicely? Let's just get a good look on the sides. I do like the handles there. They reflect quite nicely. Books not so much, but of course that's all by design. And if we could turn off all the lights, that's a cool looking design right there. I think they've made a very cool special looking skin. I'm not surprised it was accepted with the likes of the Halloween skins for week 2. Cool. Right then, anyway. I'm sure you can understand my concerns. But I'm also not too concerned. Sheet metal double doors, even we know we've had a lot of them this year, they've worked out perfectly fine. I think the worst performing one only went down by like 20%. And then it recovered. I think that's the tempered double door. How are you currently doing right now? Let's just quickly go back over to here and quickly remind myself. The tempered sheet metal double door is currently on the Steam market, selling at how much? Oh, it's $2.73 after selling at $3. Yeah, once we reach around January time, I can't help but assume that's going back up into the positive. That's like nothing. That's totally fine. And actually, that was the worst performing one. That's not that one. But still, point made. These retain value very, very well. So, by default, you're also looking to be a perfectly fine thing to chase after with a good buy order. We could probably offer like, I don't know, $2, maybe a little bit more, and I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if it doesn't really go down in price that much at all. But again, how much will it sell? That's another thing to be concerned about. So right now, after a good few hours, you've reached 2,200 subscribers, but we're not going to get a clear picture in regards to how much it will sell probably by next Thursday until, we've seen like the first 24 hours of sales and whatnot. So we'll see how it all goes down, but it is abnormal. We can use that to our advantage. So keep an eye on it. Looking pretty good. Now we can talk about the likes of the wooden double door. And let me tell you, this is like the complete opposite of that in terms of, well, first of all, let's just navigate our eyes over to here. Oh, hello. So the From Hell collection. It was accepted in a Halloween batch, and don't be surprised by that. Mr. So Cute has been submitting Hell skins in the likes of Halloween batches for ever since it existed. And I think he's been successful 3 or 4 times now. Now, when you look at this, I don't think it's very Halloween themed in terms of blatant gimmick. I don't see like the big pumpkins. I don't see scarecrows and whatnot. Now, we do see the scary star and whatnot. But again, his theme for his set still matches up perfectly with the likes of Halloween. But it also is perfectly fine for the rest of the year as well. From Hell skins do tend to work out quite nicely. Not all of them though. So let's just quickly do a little bit of history in regards to the From Hell collection, and then you'll be a little bit wiser to it. So From Hell, let's talk about interesting deplorables we've seen in the past. The fridge from last year, the likes of the sleeping bag, the locker, and the rug. All right. So let's talk about the fridge from last year. Now this fridge is down in price. But it was weird how this turned out. So last year, this fridge was accepted in last year's Halloween batch. And up to that point, we did not see that many fridges in 2023. But what happened is, literally the next week after that, it was like 2 or 3 weeks after that, we had a fridge Twitch drop. And then for Christmas, we had the snow globe fridge. So suddenly that wasn't too special. And it kind of suffered. It went all the way down to about $1.50 if I can recall, but it still recovered quite nicely as of now. Yes, it's down in price currently, but a lot of skins are down in price currently. It's October. Look at them again when it's January time. So that's not too bad. I now look at the likes of the sleeping bag. Now, the sleeping bag sold at $4. Kind of wasn't going to do very well pretty quickly. When you see a skin sell for a lot of money, it's harder for them to retain value. Now, it also did over 20,000 subscribers, so it is what it is. So that didn't turn out very nicely. Bit awkward, and yes, you do use sleeping bags quite a lot. Then we have the likes of the Locker. Now, Locker from Hell, 30,000 subscribers, but it did very nicely during the likes of the past summer of 2024. This reached all the way up to and above $4. Now, of course, it's gone down in price, but give it some time. Wait till January, probably go back up to $4 again. Now, we did see the likes of the Neon Lockers. That did happen, and we've just recently seen the likes of the Forest Raiders Locker. Maybe this isn't so special anymore. We'll see, but I do expect it to perform better than what it's currently doing right now. And then we have the likes of the Rug from Hell. Rug from Hell came out 2 years ago for Halloween, like 2022, and it just instantly went up in price because you could use that like wallpaper and decorate your entire base to make it look as if you're some sort of cult. Now, anyway, in regards to the likes of that worked out instantly, perfectly, very cool. So now I have to question the wooden double door. Let me get this point across to all of you. How many wooden double doors have we had over the past year? Oh, yeah. We don't have hardly any wooden double door skins, do we? Now, I will question this. In the life cycle of your base, I know a lot of people like to eventually get to like the garage doors and whatnot, but the point I'm trying to get across is, don't you initially use the likes of wooden double doors, then sheet metal double doors, then you get to likes of the garages? Okay, I can see this getting some usage. And also, it doesn't really have too much competition. Yes, we've had some Twitch drops. Yes, there's been some other interesting looking skins. But this is available right now. And it very likely will sell decently. But I do not expect that many more wooden doors anytime soon. Now, some people might have noticed this has been accepted. Some other skin creators will think, you know what, I could do a wooden double door. And alright, cool, I'd like to see it happen. But remember when we talked about this with likes the frog chair, you know? Nobody really made any of our chair skins, did they? And as I'm aware of this. I think it's like really annoying to produce wooden double door skins. I've spoken to skin creators before. So I don't think this is going to be getting any competition anytime soon. And I'm thinking it's going to be probably the best thing to consider investing into. $2.49 from one of the biggest collections in Rust. And it's not too Halloween gimmicked. So here we are. Let's just quickly turn off the lights. Let's just observe, get a little bit closer, look at the reflection. Stands out reasonably well. It's like as if it's all burnt. Okay, let's just quickly turn off all the lights in there, and yeah, stands out ever so nicely, nice and bright, quite scary. Oh yes, indeed. So the From Hell wooden double door, honestly, is the thing that I'm thinking is probably the best, or rather the skin that's most likely going to retain its value for the foreseeable future. It may dip in price still at certain points. I just don't think it's going to dip down in price that much. Again, with next to no competition, it looks like it's going to be doing pretty okay. That's just my opinion, though. So we can wait still. It is abnormal, $2.49. We can wait until Wednesday. But as of now, I'm looking at that with more confidence compared to the garage door. Because I can't help but think the garage door is going to get more attention and more sales compared to this. And that would actually be better for this. With a lot less of these in stock and overall quantity, the better it can rise up in price. So we'll wait till Wednesday. We'll see what the sales look like. But that is looking very appealing. It's a splendid looking door. Props to you, Mr. So Cute, and congratulations with your acceptance. So, all right, cool. That's some nice positive words. I'm hopeful that a lot of other people will appreciate it. By all means, if you want one for yourself, go buy it, use it, appreciate it, support that skin creator, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see some more From Hell skins in the future as well. Where is my From Hell water purifier? Yes. All right, anyway. So, shall we move on and showcase the likes of the Tier 3 armor now? Oh, we've got a ghastly looking Tier 3 set here, with all intents and purposes. Yes, it's all by design. Look at the guts, the rib cage. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, look at the shine there. That's looking pretty nice. So this is produced by House 9CR, and look at the teeth. Now it's got some brains in the top there. Oh, good. We can at least prove that then. Oh, and they're very shiny. Now, this was actually the top supported clothing and armor piece out of all the skin submissions. And what, with the likes of clothing and armor, there's like 240 skin submissions for Halloween 2024, and only like 45 of them were clothing and armor pieces. So, hey, still worked out quite nicely. It was accepted, and props to you for getting your second and third skin accepted to House. So, let's just quickly turn off the lights. That right there, perfectly fine looking design. Is he a zombie? Is he a skeleton? I'm not 100% sure. He's a bit of both. He's probably a ghoul. And, of course, you got the little insignia there. Oh, Something bad must have happened. Maybe a ritual gone wrong. I don't fully know, but I don't want to find out, to be honest. I want to run away. So yeah, that's a very cool looking tier 3 set. But now I have to be a little bit brutal, a little bit straightforward with you. By all means, if you want to buy that for yourself, go ahead. But if you're looking at that as a nice potential investment, I'm very sorry to say, but I've seen so many armor pieces come out in the past, and they just drop down in value very quickly. Like, I guess I could show you the tier 3 set from last year. That was green though, but still I feel like I need to take this, like, show this off so you can get it in your head. So whilst the chest plate worked out ever so nicely because it's like cheap green camouflage, you see this face mask here, which with like the brain sticking out and whatnot, down 50%. Sold for $2, down 50%. Huh. What if I looked up the likes of many other, like, Halloween clothing and armor pieces, or more specifically tier 3 pieces of the past? I can point them all out to you. Oh look, Scarecrow, down 7%. Its chest plate down by like 40%. Look at the year before this. What did we see? Kraken Shell Tier 3 down 33%, and I do believe the chest plate's down by like 45%. Not pretty, not good. Oh dear. Down a little bit more. What did we see? Pumpkin, Dead Pumpkin face mask. That's down to 83 cents, and if I can recall, the chest plate's down to like 67 cents. Not pretty. So as you can see, quite a lot of these Tier 3 pieces unfortunately do go down in price. But then you have the likes of Franken face mask and chest plate. They're both sitting at around $4, but they're very light green. Very light green and nice cheap green camouflage. Oh, there you go. So I'm just going to be honest with you. With what we have here, it's not camouflage. It's ghastly. It's perfectly befitting for Halloween, and it got accepted. Very nice, very cool. But unfortunately, I worry that people aren't going to care about this once Halloween is over and done with. So by all means, if you like it, support the skin creator. It's his second and third skin to be accepted. But if you're looking at this as if it's a potential nice investment, I'm very sorry to say, but it's one of those situations where it's like, I kind of wouldn't be surprised if it goes down to about 30 or 40 cents after about a month or so. Very sorry to say that. And it does happen quite a lot with the likes of Halloween clothing and armor skins. So, very well then. If you like it, you go buy it. But if you're looking at this with the financial perspective, it's abnormal. Both the pieces are abnormal, so we can use that to our advantage. We can wait until Wednesday. We could do the barters first, and then we'll see how everything turns out. But I'm sure you can understand why I'm concerned and why I don't really want to jump onto that. So I felt like I've said more than enough there. Let's now move on and talk about the likes of the not so cute sheep Matador. And all I got to do is just turn around, turn the lights back on, and move over to here. There we go. Now, if we could just move the sun around. Sun, what are you doing over that side? Move it. Right. Look at him. He's so happy and cute. We got the not so cute sheep Matador right here. How could anybody look at you and feel worried or, you know, in some sense of despair? Like, you're totally cute. Nothing's wrong with you. Ah! Produced by Mr. Milho Frito and Sakatis Familias, we have a cute little ghost-themed sheep Matador. It does glow in the dark, but if it goes to night time, he turns into a sinister little specimen. Anyway, so cute-looking sheep Matador, a very straightforward-looking design. Sheep Matadors this year, though. All right, so let's just jump straight into it. A very quick explanation. This is selling at $2.49. We tend to see a lot of sheep Matadors selling around $2.49, don't we? We also tend to see a lot of sheep Matadors that have come out so far this year go down in price very, very, very quickly. Yes. Now, we talked about this last week with the Grim Farm sheep Matador. I worry for that. And when we were figuring out prices last night for the likes of that sheep Matador, I said, guys, I'm probably only going to offer between 50 to 70 cents. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think Not So Cute's going to be the same thing. Yes, it's just a big, cute ghost, and it's probably very obviously for Halloween. But for what it is, the gimmick, the silly design and whatnot, I think it might fare a little bit better. I do still believe it's going down below its Rustler price, though. That's the point I'm trying to get across. So that's abnormal. We can use the time to our advantage. Very straightforward answer. But at the end of the day, I don't think it'll be going up in the positive that quickly. Now, how much will it sell? That would definitely kind of help it out. If it sold like next to nothing, I could see it having a nice, perfectly fine future ahead of it. But if it ends up like the Grim Farm sheep Matador, which did almost 20,000 subscribers, oh dear, I'm a little bit concerned then. Yeah, I feel like I've got the point across. But yeah, so back over to here. Do you think it looks cute? Do you think that looks nice? Would you like to see that, in your base? Now, this was like the second best performing skin in terms of support after the likes of the Witch, the Witch Garage Door, which obviously we just showed off a little bit earlier. So let's just quickly snap back over to here. It's basically just like a big kind of piece of like plastic over a black door. Like, there's not much else I can really say, I'm sorry to say. But obviously it worked and people liked it and it got accepted. So there you go. So that's something I'd like to hear your opinion about. What do you think when you see that door? Do you care enough for it? Are you buying one for yourself because you'd love to have it? Love to hear it. But I just kind of still worry for it. Sheep and doors in general, not reliable investments. And by default, I will just stick with doing a buy order. And it is abnormal, so we can use that to our advantage. So yeah, sorry for being very straightforward about it. But there's not much else to say. Sorry. So let's hop back out of here. Just take a look at all the sheep and the doors that came out this year. I feel like I've said more than enough because I keep having to bring this up and I keep having to talk about this and they keep going down in price, so I have to keep referencing that. You get the idea. Anyway, let's now move on and start talking about the likes of the weapon skins we have here. Alright, so first up here we have the Pumpkin Exhibition SAR. Yeah, good, look at that. Obviously with loads of pumpkins all over it. Well, it's obviously in the name. Aim down the sight. I'm sure a lot of people would appreciate a nice orange aim sight. Should be good for pretty much every single environment. I know a lot of people are going to be very concerned. Don't worry, this is the non-glow-in-the-dark version. So I know a lot of people were wondering, oh, which one got picked, which one got picked. It's the one that doesn't glow. So as you can see, aim down the sight, you can see the likes of the pumpkin face there. That might be pretty helpful for a lot of people. But remember, just use a hollow sight. Just use a hollow sight. Right, so that is the SAR. Let's now quickly switch over to the Gore AK-47. And yes, both of the weapons that I've shown off are collection continuations to weapon skins that were accepted last year. Very nice to see. Now this is very ghastly. Oh great, I got another eyeball looking at me. And its aim sight seems to be standard black with a bit of red, so that's pretty cool. Alright, and of course nighttime look. Here you go, look at that. And as you can see, the eyeball does stand out quite nicely. Awesome. So it's going to be staring at me all the time. Wonderful. That's lovely to know. Right then, shall we now quickly go showcase these on stage? So let's just turn around. Over to here. Let's start off with the SAR. And observe. So get a good look at that. Lovely design with the pumpkins. But of course, if you saw last year's Pumpkin Exhibition AK-47, it's pretty much the same thing, you know. So turn around over to here, get a good look at the design over on the other side. It's perfectly fine. I'm sure a lot of people will appreciate it. Got the vine design as well. That's looking cool. And over to here, number 2, looking at you. All right. And we have the ghastly, meaty Gore AK-47. Look at that. Lots of blood. Oh dear, what happens to this? How did you make this? I don't like the skin going all weird and scaly there. That's kind of put me off. Oh, but it's very shiny. Oh, nice. So, yeah, get a good look at that. Now, to be straightforward with you, I expect both of these skins to probably go down to around $1. Well, that was quick, I know, but holiday-themed weapon skins really don't tend to work out very nicely, I'm afraid. Especially the more modern ones. Oh, that's so nice and shiny. Look at that. So, appreciate them, buy them, you know, if you want to. But if you're looking at these as investments, I'm very sorry to say, but I just wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if you could just pick these up for about $1 after about a month or so. So yeah, that's all I have to really say. I will look at them in scmm.app as well, because as of now, I don't know how many are going to sell. But they're not like the top selling skins right now. I'm sure a lot of people are probably well aware that they could probably get them for cheaper after a while. But hey, there are still quite a lot of people that are buying them, so let's just quickly hop out. Pumpkin Exhibition SAR, you currently have how many subscribers? You have 1,681, and the AK-47 currently has 1,381. It wouldn't surprise me if they are probably the lowest selling skins by the end of the week next week. But at the end of the day, if you want to support the skin creators, they don't get that many skins accepted. Well, I mean, Jimmy did get quite a few this year, but still overall, when you look at both of them, they've got like 5 each. So, yeah. At the end of the day, props to both of you. Very cool looking designs. Perfectly befitting of the likes of Halloween. But when people ask me, are they going to be nice investments? I've got to be truthful. I wouldn't be surprised if they go down to about $1 after about a month. That's my straightforward answer. So it is what it is. Now, shall we go forth and showcase the likes of the Tooth Monster hoodie and pants? Now to get super close with the likes of the Tooth Fairy hoodie and pants. Now, by default, you're going to probably sit there and say, oh, HEDGE'S green. Can we do a nice green camouflage check? It's got loads of pink and white all over it as well. I don't think it's worth even considering. But yeah, this is a lovely looking hoodie and pants set produced by the likes of Mr. Kit. Now, as you notice, it's got some very shiny pink intestines and what appears to be like a tongue or a worm. It's like a mouth, if anything. It's really odd, but unique and interesting. So props to you with getting your skin accepted. That knee is looking awful. In intended sort of scary, gruesome sort of manner. So yeah, that's a perfectly fine looking hoodie and pants, but by default, I'm concerned. When it comes to the likes of clothing and armor pieces with holiday themes and whatnot, more specifically Halloween, they tend to not work out very well. We pretty much did talk about that earlier, the likes of the tier 3 armor, but I just want to get this point across. By default, you can imagine that next year, Kit, with this being his first skins to be accepted, I'm pretty confident that we're going to see the likes of maybe a tier 2 or a tier 3 piece being produced next year. Maybe it gets accepted. That'd be very cool. Now, that obviously happened with likes of last week. We got the likes of Pumpkin Hoodie and Pants being accepted, and what happened? This tier 2 set of Pumpkin ended up spiking demand, spiking price. That was very nice to see, very cool. But before all of that happened, it was really cheap. Like, next to no one was even looking at it. So just look at this initial drop in value. When literally when Halloween finishes, this went all the way down to about 50 cents. Now, it improves every now and then, but it goes down every now and then. It basically always been cheap. Very sorry to say, but just take a look at history, and, well, history tends to repeat itself. So with this brand new Tooth Fairy set, the main point I'm trying to get across is it's probably not going to stay in demand. It very likely will not be retaining value, and it very likely drop. Now, I also happen to have an old hoodie and pants set right here, zombie costume. Right now, you can see this is selling at 84 cents. It's sold in the Ruster at 99 cents each, so just to get this point across. Now, if I just look at its history, so look at lifetime, instantly, as you can see, it goes from $1 all the way down to about 40 cents by the end of November. This, unfortunately, is the expected behavior I will probably expect with what's going to happen to our hoodie and pants, the Tooth Fairy hoodie and pants. It just keeps happening over and over and over again. But yeah, after a while, after about 3 years, eventually it went back up in price a fair bit to 80-ish cents. It just took 3 years. And no, we never did see the likes of a collection continuation for zombie costume. Bit unfortunate, but that just kind of like drives the point home. Like, unfortunately, you cannot assume every single skin is definitely going to get a collection continuation in the future. It would be lovely if it happened, but yeah. So, with this hoodie sitting at $1.49 and this pair of pants sitting at 99 cents, even then I still expect them to probably go down to about 30 or 40 cents by the end of November next month. Sorry to say, give it a month and they very likely just drop down in value. It keeps happening. It's happened many times in the past, and I cannot help but assume it's likely to happen all over again. So, yeah, by all means, if you like the skin, it's Kit's first ever skin to be accepted as a solo skin creator. Go show support. But if you're asking me for my sincere opinion in regards to will that skin work out as a nice investment, I don't think so. And if it does, it will only likely happen if we see a collection continuation next year. And I know for a fact a lot of you don't have the patience for that. So, okay. With that then, that was the final skin to showcase. So, congratulations once again to all the skin creators. Let's see how all of these skins work out in terms of, how much they sell by next Wednesday and whatnot. That's when we'll consider how much we want to offer for all the skins. But yeah, at the very least, I hope they do sell nicely. I hope everybody gets a lovely bag just before Christmas. Right then, shall we now talk about other interesting details that you need to be aware of? Okay, cool. In regards to next month, I still don't know what the November Twitch drops are. That's going to come to a surprise for me, all right? Just wanted to point that out. Now, of course, recently we've had some interesting skins being submitted. So, of course, that's it. That's a wrap for the likes of Halloween now. That's all done. Now, if I go to the collections on the Rust Workshop, you can see that recently I have posted Rust Workshop skin checks for October 22, 2024. We are back to normal skins. As you can see, we only got 73 skins being submitted, but some interesting collection continuations did happen to appear. Oh, yes, they did. Yes, they did. So give that a good look. And of course, please consider watching the actual video over to here, which you can see October 22, 2024, Rust Workshop skin checks. And yes, every single collection continuation is chaptered. Just go to the description and it's all there on display. If something catches your eye, just click it, skip ahead. Blackstone Tier 3 version 2, Tank Armor Tier 2 version 2, ooh, Gold Chains Head Wrap and Boots, MK Ultra Pump Shotgun, it's all there. Give it a good look, it's up to you. Right, so, what else needs to be said? There is potentially some interesting details for an official primitive server. Oh, yes. So if you're keeping an eye on the likes of the Rust commits, you might be seeing some interesting things being worked on. Notably, as you can see here, the Tier 1 SMG, I've been keeping an eye on this. It feels like potentially this might be ready for November Force Wipe, which of course will be in about 2 weeks' time. We don't know what it looks like yet, but considering the view module, the aim sights and whatnot have been worked on, and apparently they got it so it's perfectly fine to be put on all weapon racks, can't help but assume that's likely to be ready, for November Force Wipe. So, we'll see how that turns out. But of course, we can also see siege weapons are being worked on. So if I could just quickly navigate to the likes of siege weapons, they have been working on ballistas. Now, if you don't know what a ballista is, just imagine like a gigantic crossbow that shoots gigantic arrows, but quite literally that. If you played Elden Ring, you'd know. So ballistas, battering rams, siege towers, and drawbridges, I think, was another one. Basically, there's a lot of medieval, primitive weaponry for knocking down walls and whatnot. So now I want to navigate over to, we've got shields being worked on quite recently as well. That was something else I was supposed to mention, sorry. Primitive GM. Primitive GM, I think, refers to primitive game mode, and they are changing certain items to be based on a specific era. So if you could see era being mentioned over and over again, era, I think all items are being defined as either old era and like new era. Think like hunting bow and crossbow, old era, and then look at the likes of the AK-47 and the Thompson, new era. So, bones and arrows and whatnot, like stones, bones, arrows, all that, primitive, and of course, guns and whatnot, new era. So for a primitive server, you wouldn't have access to guns and whatnot. But with the likes of all the brand new siege weaponry being worked on and whatnot, it might be pretty cool. It might be pretty fun. And I'm just going to throw this out here as like a random thing that I think might be happening. I am aware, because they announced it during the likes of the last Twitch Rivals event last month, we know that we're going to have another Twitch Rivals for December. And that very likely will also be the Twitch drops. And if you've seen Wilgem's recent Twitter question, who he was asked about, hey guys, which jacket do you prefer? Pretty sure that's going to be his jacket Twitch drop. Maybe, we'll see, but I'm pretty sure. Anyway, I think they might be doing a primitive Twitch Rivals to showcase off the brand new primitive game mode. Now, we'll see how it turns out, but if they were to add like a fun gimmick to it, I'm pretty sure that would be fun enough. So I'm thinking maybe the likes of horses will be utilised to potentially move all of these, big equipment pieces around. So the likes of the battering ram, maybe that would be pushed specifically by people. But if you needed it from A to B, you need some horses. Again, siege tower might be something you build right there and then, or might be something you have to actually push there. Again, horsepower, totally understandable. Maybe the likes of the travelling vendor, instead of it being a van, it's like a guy on a wagon going around everywhere. That'd be pretty cool. That's if like Face Punch wants to do it. If they wanted to make a Christmas version of that, it would be like a Santa guy being pulled around by reindeer and whatnot. That, again, many cool, silly ideas that could work out with the likes of that. Anyway, primitive game mode, it really does look like that this is going to be potentially something that's coming out maybe at the beginning of 2025. We shall see. So not only do we potentially have a brand new biome on the horizon, but a potential brand new official game mode. So we'll see how that all turns out. So if you're really annoyed by constantly being shot across the map or on the beach just as you spawn and whatnot, well, now it's going to be flaming arrows. Or maybe you're going to have to try and run as fast as you can whilst a group of about 20 Zergs are pushing a battering ram to, go and smash into you. We'll see how that all turns out. So let's see if that is what they're going to be doing for likes of December's Twitch Rivals, or maybe it's just a standard Twitch Rivals. We'll see, but it would be a fun gimmick. I think that would be definitely fun. If they want to do something different, let's see how that turns out. So, cool. Many different skins, now being parts of different eras, and I did tweet this out, so if I could just quickly go over to here, there you go. I will put this tweet linked in the description so you can see this for yourself, and also have the links to the likes of the Primitive GM link and the Siege weapons and whatnot, because a lot of interesting stuff has been worked on over the past month. I don't expect this to be ready for November Force Wipe, but potentially, maybe December, probably January. We'll see. So keep an eye on all of this. Lots of interesting things being worked on. And just as an extra thing, temperature teas. So added min-max core temperature modifier teas, which modify player clamped temperature range as an alternative option. So if you don't want to wear like you know, warm clothing in the likes of the snowy area. Just drink a quick tea and then you're good. You can wear all of your like tier 3 armor and whatnot and not get too cold. So that might be OP. We'll see how that turns out. But it looks like we're getting more tea options. That sounds fun. So keep an eye on likes to commits. It's always linked in the description, so you can see for yourself. But as we get closer and closer to the likes of November, some interesting things very likely be on the way. I'm still leaning towards the likes of, it's just going to probably be something like the Tier 1 SMG. We shall see. What happened to the SKS? I don't even know what happened to that. Apparently it was going to become its own weapon, but then it wasn't, then it is. I don't know. I really don't know. So, again, feel free to comment below what you think. And, yeah, that seems to be pretty much everything. So, once again, as I said earlier, we are doing our own special Halloween event next week, all in support of Mr. Shadowhopper. I have it linked in the description if you want to join us. It's on the Art of Rust server. And, yeah, once you're in, just type /hedge in the main global chat and it'll teleport you to the special area and just have fun. That's all I can ask for, all right? But, you know, try and be on your best behaviour. All good. Thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. I put out a whole bunch of short videos and whatnot for all the skins and whatnot. And I guess now we look forward to the likes of Christmas time, which, of course, would also be skins that probably wouldn't work out as very nice investments because they're holiday skins. But you get the idea. All good. Yay. All right. Catch you later. See you. Goodbye.